Hi, my name is Ken Cosentino, and if you're watching this from Niagara Falls, then you probably know me because I've lived here my entire life. I just want to send out a message to everybody, those who aren't from Niagara Falls, those who don't live in this area, and even those who do live here but have just not been paying attention to what's happening. Niagara Falls is on brink of a war, and this war is not being caused by us, the people. This war is going to be started by Governor Cuomo and indirectly by Mayor Paul Dyster, who is refusing to speak for his people, for his city. He's refusing to listen to the people and to their needs and to their pleas. Instead, he's catering to Governor Andrew Cuomo and his plans for the state park. So let's backtrack a little bit. The city of Niagara Falls is built on graft, okay? And if that's not a word that you're familiar with, you should look it up, because it means the dishonest use of public office for personal gains. That's what we're looking at here. So we have a state park, a natural wonder of the world, a huge source of hydroelectricity. We power a lot of the East Coast, New York City. Many different places are dependent on our power source, but nobody more so than Albany. We have one of the most beautiful attractions known worldwide, and they continue to say it has to be marketed. It's a product that needs to be built and marketed. No, it's not a product, it's a waterfall. It's a natural wonder of the world. It needs to be preserved. You didn't build it, you didn't put it there. Preserve it. The reason that they do what they do in the state park is because millions of tourists come here every year and spend millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars here. Yet our city is crumbling. Our people are sick and need help. Quality of life declines. But yet the mayor comes out and says, well, actually, it's getting better. Have you seen Old Fall Street? Have you seen 3rd Street? These are places that are right next to the falls. These are places that are being catered to because of their proximity to the tourist area. 95% of the community is not near Niagara Falls. There is a wall of poverty separating the state park from the community. And people have to live in that wall of poverty. But instead we have Mayor Dyster during Black History Month raising an African flag saying, well, I really feel that, we're making progress. No, you're a puppet. If you really care about black people, then why don't you go down to those neighborhoods which are predominantly black and do something about it? Why don't you talk to your buddy Governor Andrew Cuomo and tell him to redirect the funds that he plans, hundreds of millions of dollars for development on Goat Island, building a lodge, and zip lining and skiing and making a grand resort for his buddy Jeremy Jacobs and the Jacobs family in Delaware North, who happen to be his biggest campaign contributors and also happen to have lost a big contract at Yosemite just last year. Why don't you go talk to them, Mayor Dyster? Go tell them what we want. Why don't you tell Governor Cuomo redirect millions of dollars into these impoverished areas where people are dying, where drugs are rampant? You put it on our police force and there's not enough police on the police force. You cut budgets, you freeze hiring, but yet you don't listen to the people. And that's why you're helping start a war with the people. Now, I'm strictly nonviolent by nature. I couldn't hurt a fly. So this isn't a threat, but it is a promise, because I will not give up, because this is my hometown. I've lived here my entire life. I grew up here. These are my memories. I am Niagara. We are Niagara. That water flows through my veins. It has since I was this tiny in the womb. So you're not going to silence us. If you want, we will rise up. That's what you're causing. You're causing that. You're not listening. And eventually, all that you will be doing is starting this huge movement that, do we want to do this? Well, I guess maybe it's about time. Because when our elected officials don't listen to the needs and the pleas of concerned citizens, thousands of them, well, then something needs to change. So I'm telling you right now, We have a month before this budget gets voted on in Albany. We have a month, and we have written hundreds of letters to legislators, to state assemblymen, to senators, to Governor Cuomo. I know you all know about this. So who's gonna help, okay? Because you're talking thousands of votes, thousands of taxpayer dollars. Who's gonna champion this and listen to the people? We're calling all of you. We're calling you, Governor Andrew Cuomo. Come here, take a walking tour, and I will show you exactly what I mean. I will show you the house is falling down. Why do we cover all this stuff up? Because it's bad for tourism. But tourists don't come into the city. They hit that wall of poverty, and they go right back to the park, or they go to Canada. So they don't stay in the city, they don't spend money locally. We depend on ourselves. So everybody listening to this right now, you have a chance, you have the opportunity to voice your opinion, especially if you're a Niagarian. Most people say, what's a Niagarian? But we're not a Buffalonian, we're not a New Yorker, we're a Niagarian. That's what we are. We have an identity. We have a home. You want to come and you want to fight this battle here in my hometown, and you will be very, very, very upset at what happens. Again, I'm strictly nonviolent, so it's not a threat, it's a promise. Because there is opposition. There's hundreds, thousands of people. By the time you come rolling through, there's going to be thousands of people protesting this. We have a water authority. Oh, it'd be too bad if hundreds of people shut that down by protest, wouldn't it? What about the power authority? That'd be too bad. What about the state park? Well, what's bad for tourism? Hundreds of people picketing on Goat Island or right outside Goat Island? And you're not going to be able to employ the police to arrest us when we're protesting peacefully, when we're expressing our constitutional right. You're not going to be able to employ your state park police because they have to follow their jurisdiction. And a lot of these cops, especially NFPD, are good people, and they're sick and tired of this as well. So I'm telling you, and I'm asking you, from one human being to another, come here, look at it before you vote on this budget. Governor Andrew Cuomo, come look, listen to the people. Look at the poverty. Look where that money can make a huge difference. You could revitalize the city. This is something we needed for decades. Not only do we have drugs, not only do we have just such huge cores of just, it looks like a post-apocalyptic scenario. But we also have radiation, radioactive waste, just laying around. Why don't you spend some millions of dollars cleaning that up? We need livable jobs and livable wages, and we need politicians who are going to do what we want them to do because we elected them. So, I'm telling you right now, if you don't listen up and respond to our messages, and you vote without our input next month on this budget towards Goat Island and state property and surrounding prime real estate waiting to be snatched up by New York State because of your graft, then I will launch Operation Rolling Thunder. And you don't want to know what that is. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. And if you think that's a joke, it's not. Because I have thousands behind me. Because I have my community behind me. Because we are united and we are working together. It's not about black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It's not about color. It's not about religion. It doesn't even matter if you live in a nice house or in a crack house. Because we are one and we are working together to stop this. So redirect these funds. You have been told, you have been ordered. I told your buddy Sam Hoyt more than a week ago. I think it's been 2 weeks now. I know you got the message. Redirect the funds.